leave on Friday around 5 o'clock. We stay with supporter housing in Colorado. People have opened up their houses to us. And then on Saturday morning, we meet at the campaign office, eat a little quick breakfast provided by volunteers, and then we go out and canvass, which basically means you knock on people's doors and ask them who they're supporting this election. So you do that for about 2 hours, come back, eat lunch, again provided by the campaign, go out and canvass for 2 more hours, and then after that you're free to either grab dinner and then head back to Provo, or you could stay a second night in Colorado. The host families are always super nice and really eager to hear your life story, so it can be really fun to go. So if you're interested in going on those trips, again, everything is paid for except for your dinner on Saturday. Then just let me know, and it's really a great way. If you feel like you're not making any difference in selection because you live in Utah and you're Mormon and everybody loves Mitt Romney and you don't, then you should consider going on one of these trips. They're every weekend until the election, starting this weekend, and then next weekend, the 26th and 27th, and then November 2nd and 3rd. So we do like to have the BYU Democrats booth set up in the Wilk so that when people are walking around, they can see that BYU Democrats exist, and we have a legit banner, and they can get involved with us, and we usually get a lot of people to sign up to come. A lot of you probably might have found out about the club because of that booth. But we need people to staff it. And so there's a Google Doc that you can sign up for times. Whenever you're free, just be a debate on each of those, like a short debate. So it would be really, really interesting. You'll get to hear about a variety of issues. So look forward to that. Was there anything else you say?
I think that's about it. Later on, future events will be different. That'll be post-election, cool down, some cooler guest speakers and stuff. So be excited for that. We're going to have the chair of the Democratic Party of Utah come.
Jim Bacchus, the best. Okay, so
does anybody have any questions before we move on? Awesome.
Okay, well then we're just going to get ready for the debate then. If you guys know, tonight's going to be a town hall style format. Just kidding. Where basically people from the audience are going to be asking questions. And the audience is made up of people that the Gallup organization has identified as undecided voters. So I don't know if you guys are familiar, some polling data just came out, I think it was just earlier today. Gallup and USA Today did some research and found that Romney is gaining by leaps and bounds among women voters. Apparently, yeah, I know, crazy, right? Obama had a double-digit lead, and then all of a sudden Romney is doing better in some key swing states.
Yeah, I've gone to a couple meetings last year. Oh, cool.
Do you identify as a Democrat?
Oh, are you? Oh my goodness.
Have you been involved just out of curiosity? Have you been involved with volunteering?
Not really.
I don't know if this is not. Obviously, BYU doesn't endorse any candidates, but one thing we're big on is getting more cuts with volunteer volunteers. So I don't know, just Scott Howell, who said Jim Matheson, obviously.
Jim Matheson.
Yes.
But I feel like his district is kind of far away.
That's true, yeah. It's definitely far from us. It's not.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. Obviously, Obama, again, when he can't, but I like officially endorsing him. But if you're interested, we do phone banks once a week. We do campus.
Where?
I was going to
Sure. You find a flyer from another booth. Just use the back of it.
We were just saying this is the biggest mistake. We don't have flyer. So every Wednesday, they're actually in my house. Wednesdays, 6 9. Thank you. So we do campus. We also do campusing over the weekend. I don't know if you're going to do Friday nights. We go just for all day Saturday, and then we're back on Saturday. So we can do church and stuff.
Maybe. I don't know. I'll check this out.
Yeah. We'll see you guys. If you are interested, let me give you my number too. If you do decide, I'm actually so. I feel like I keep having to throw this caveat. This is not something that you I'm actually about to fellow for organizing fellow for the Obama campaign here in Texas. So my name's Aaron. If you have any questions or you're interested in doing any stuff, there's tons of opportunities. You can phone banking. We actually sent you a virtual account so you can do it on your own. Well, I mean, if you can't make the actual phone banking, like you can just do it on your end of night.
Sweet, thanks.
Nice to meet you. It's like super ghetto. I'm embarrassed you guys film it. How's it going, man? You want free candy?
Yeah, most of the people are going this way because they can't see there. They're like, candy.
Series that we do every Sunday. We write about the young men's and young women's lesson that's going to happen. It should be a week in advance. And we just read the young men's and young women's lessons from a feminist perspective, and then we each write a little bit. I write about the young women's lessons, and he writes about the Aaronic priesthood lesson. And then we have a section for dialogue where we just talk back and forth about different things we saw in the lesson. We talk about our personal experiences, like if we remembered having that lesson when we were in young women's, and then we just go from there. So yeah.
Interesting.
It's cool. Hopefully that was enough background or not too much.
No,
background.
yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
How many people would you say is a part of this blog, part of this community?
Our currently, wait, hold on, we've had 14,389 views since July 21st-ish. So we're up to about 14,000. And then there's also a Facebook group and a Twitter that go along with it. So yeah. The bobby pin through their buttonhole, you know?
Yeah.
What?
And you're not supposed to explain it, so the girls are walking in like, here, I'm gonna drape this string
With
on
all
your
this
shoulder.
crap, like,
What
draped on them like little Christmas trees.
Like Christmas, okay.
Except for the ugly Christmas trees, because they're supposed to have
No,
like,
they're
wire.
beautiful. You just called every young woman ugly.
False. The young women are beautiful, but draping small random objects on them and then having them come into class. It's
Okay.
absurd. I would talk about that in my write-up. Once you read it, you'll understand. Well, and we could also bring it up more in a discussion talk, because I mentioned in my write-up how a lot of the lesson focuses on women developing their... I feel like I always bash on this old Relief Society word. I hope none of them...
Read your blog
Yeah.
after they've signed the thing.
I don't know.
Sorry.
It's a good word. Did I learn that at Friends?
Do you know what it means? Like,
Yeah.
it's related to liturgy.
I can't.
like, when the-
I used it correctly, right?
Oh yeah, totes. But like, anyway, it's just interesting. Anyway,
Wow.
sorry. Because like a litany is like when the pastor, not the pastor, but traditionally talking like Catholics, like he says like, you know, Anno Domini, whatever the Latin word, and everybody like repeats it back. Like that's the litany part of the liturgy. Anyway, it's
Right.
okay. I just don't use that word often.
Well, glad I can expand your vocabulary.
Well, I doubt I'm gonna use it now. I'm just saying. Anyway.
Anyways, there was rarely... What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say they're just...
Well then,
Well, there's also
I don't know, like
there's also an anti-gay agenda as well. I mean, they
Yeah.
slip it in their talks, the way they want to talk with other people who are on the fence and everything. Like,
Plus, if you're not standing up, people are sinning in ignorance, and like.
Crazy brought up earlier tonight, like the BYU Democrats meeting about homosexuality. I was the one who stood up and was like, and I gave all my reasons for why I'm fine with homosexuality, both morally and legally. But I tried to do it from a very, very like logical, like, you know, if this is what we're
Walk
trying
them
to do.
through it.
Yeah, like walking people through it. And I feel like I found a lot of success with that when it's very much addressing like the facts of things. So for example, with homosexuality in the church, like when I'm trying to explain that to people, because people ask me that a lot, and I might get it more because I work at the MTC, and so people a lot of times like ask me a lot more directly about the status of my temporal recommend, and they're like, how do you answer that question in the temporal recommend interview if you support gay marriage, you know? So I get that question a lot, so I'm used to explaining it, but when I do have the time to go through it, I talk about like, you know, like where do we have this understanding of homosexuality? It comes from the Bible, there's these verses. Okay, well, not all those verses we're actually referring to like homosexuality as we're talking about it today, you know? A lot of it was about like male rape or like, you know, prostitution, things like that, and that's not the loving, committed, gay relationship that we're talking about with gay marriage today. And so I go through it point by point like that, and I found a lot of people, then at the end I say, and you know, the church is still against it, and so I still understand, like, that's okay if that's your reason for being against homosexuality, but as long as they understand better all of those reasons why I support it, then it's not so much like I'm trying to convert them like that final step, but I'm like, you know, if I can get them to the point where they understand fully why I support it, but then they still decide to be against it because of Revelation and whatnot, like, I'm
Right.
fine with that.